Hello. Oh, sorry.
Oh man, what? Hold
I
on
missed
a
it.
second. It's still cold. Okay.
All right, ready?
hold on.
Sip together. Ready?
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Ready? Go. Hello,
I can't do that.
and welcome to the Monday Night Debrief. I'm stoked you guys are here to join me, and everyone watching, I'm glad you're here to watch as well. That was a fantastic open.
Thanks.
I didn't realize we were live.
That was awesome. I know I didn't really have a whole lot of time to prepare, and I was like, oh yeah, guests. How are you guys doing today?
Good,
Doing
man.
well.
Good.
Awesome.
Oh man, that was some show tonight, guys.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was fun.
We had
It's
really
always a
good
lot of fun.
content.
So, Matt, where's that Luke figure sitting now?
Oh, he's right up here on the shelf. I can actually grab him if you want.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this without dropping him.
Hey, look here. We got number one sci-fi in the house. Here's a sip for you. Your mug was mailed today, so
Nice.
be looking forward to that.
Mugs
We
going
also
out.
got Paul Lewis. Here's a sip for you. The whole of my left side is asleep right now. The right side sipping a late night, very early morning. JD, smooth. Yeah, I'm
Oh, it
really
lights
stoked
up.
you could make it, Paul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that is cool. That's your new
This thing is
centerpiece,
fun.
huh?
Yeah, I have it up on my shelf.
So cool.
It was sitting next to my GameCube at the moment. But
That is nice.
Everest, here's a sip for you.
really cool detail in this thing. And I did I fixed the feet. They're no longer backwards.
Nice. That looks so cool.
Yeah, this thing is cool. I gotta get the stormtroopers.
We also have average. Here's a zip for you, my dude. Hot. Oh, and look, we also got Cobra Disney Jedi. You got a Daryl the Derelict mug. What is that? This one? Does he have the same one?
Oh,
This
nice.
Mandalorian? Look, does it look
Think
like I'm
so.
wearing?
That's great.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that Monday nights are very informal because that wouldn't fly on the normal Friday night show.
Right.
I gotta adjust my monitor. You guys talk about something real quick.
So, yeah,
How's it
that
going, buddy?
doing well. Seeing that that Luke figure you unboxed was absolutely amazing. And I gotta wonder. You said that in the chat that your whole desk is a mouse pad. Like, what kind of desk is it?
This is actually the same brand as my chair. It's X-Rocker. And
X-Rocker.
the entire top, you could take it off and everything and clean it and stuff, but the entire top is mouse pad.
Wow.
So I'm like, and it feels nice. I love this thing, and it's got the LED lighting and everything on the sides, so I can light it up and do all that stuff. Obviously, that doesn't show up on camera, but
Right.
nice
Yeah, the
open frame.
Yeah, the desk that I'm using right now is just a simple little Walmart wooden desk, and y'all have seen the chair that I use.
I desperately needed an up. Uh-oh.
Everything
This
okay?
is
Tim?
terrible. I don't know.
We got some set problems.
Yeah. All right, that's close enough. We'll just call
There
it.
we go. Eyeballing it. It looks good.
Okay,
Mhm.
close enough.
But I desperately needed an upgrade. We had the desk I took out of here. I kid you not. I swear they built the house around it.
Really?
This thing it had thick, massive wood surrounded by steel. And however it was put together, they made it so that you really would be crazy to try to disassemble it. And
I believe it.
Oh, it was nuts. I spent an entire day disassembling it as much as I could. And then by the end, it still weighed a ton. And we're down in the basement here. So my wife helped me. I got at the bottom. She was at the top. And we turned it upside down on its platform. And I pushed it up the stairs while she guided it. And I thought I was going to die. And she keeps laughing. I'm like, please don't drop this on me.
The way you described it may as well have been just bolted down.
Oh, it was just awful, but I'm so happy to have it out of there.
I know that, dude. Here's a
Hey,
man.
Nerporial.
One of my
welcome to
Tuesday
jump
night,
in if you want.
one of my Tuesday night Trek co-hosts.
Nice. So you're done with the original series now, right?
As of right now, I just have 2 episodes left to watch, and I'll
Okay.
knock those out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, I just saw the one where they met Abe Lincoln.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the season 3 episodes. Nerdporial will back me up on this. They get weird.
Yeah. But then you know what? You bang those out, and you're up to Next Generation, buddy. That's what I grew up with.
Yeah,
That was my Star Trek.
nice.
So what is our plan exactly for the Clone Wars? Because everyone that's watching that doesn't know, we are about to go through the Clone Wars because I've never seen them all the way through. My wife hasn't seen them all the way through. And we are going to go through and do kind of, I'm assuming it's the same thing you're doing with Tuesday Night Trek, right, Paul?
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah, the show that we're going to be doing this is on Fridays. I think we agreed on 9 p.m. Eastern.
Mhm.
And the way I envisioned it, we would go through the Clone Wars in release order. So starting, of course, with the movie, and then just through season 1, then season 2, and so on and so forth. And the way we're doing it right now with Tuesday Night Trek is we're doing it in blocks of 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I think a week to watch 5 episodes sounds more than doable.
Yeah.
Especially with how accessible it is now. I mean, I have them all on Blu-ray, but they're all on Disney Plus now too. So it's
Right. And real quick, we're talking about the Clone Wars, the 3D show. I just did a review of the 2D one. I did part 1 this past Friday, and then part 2 yesterday.
Yeah. Personally, I think that second volume of the 2D is the stronger half. I love
agree.
those episodes, especially with
Yeah.
how menacing Grievous is. I mean,
Yes.
He's
like you put it,
terrifying.
yeah, because even how Paul put it is like he put Grievous in the Clone Wars series and Revenge of the Sith to shame. Like
He did.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to the Sidious and Savage and Maul fight because I've seen clips of it, but I've never seen like the context. So I'm really looking forward. I've seen so many clips of the Clone Wars, but I've never gotten the full context. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
I've seen
number one
all.
sci-fi says you've never seen the Clone Wars and you're a Star Wars guy. What?
I've never seen all of the Clone Wars. I've seen all of season 1 and about the first third or half of season 2, and a bunch of scattered episodes throughout. I've just never sat down and seen it from beginning to end.
See, I watched the whole series multiple times through, but I saw it originally as it aired. So this was weekly for me, and every week I got to look forward to that new release of the series. And I think now, with it completed, especially with the additional season, with season 7, I mean, you're going to get this full, complete experience. I waited all those years for season 7 to happen. I've always felt like, oh, the series is going to do what the 2D did and lead right up to the beginning of Revenge of the Sith. And when it didn't at the time, I was so upset.
Yeah.
Right.
Paul says, I have a concern about the EVTV stream. A number of people watching tonight was around 35 to 40. That's not good. What do Coach and Nick have to do to improve the viewing figures? I'd say from like a creator standpoint, if we can get into our groove of like formatting and how we do each of our episodes. And I think some of us are there and some of us have stuff to improve upon, which is fine. We all start somewhere. I got stuff to improve.
Right.
I'm back. I
I
was
do too.
telling you about my camera situation that I finally just figured out. It's like, well, why not just use this thing, you know?
There you go.
So should have better picture quality soon. But that's the creative side of it for Echo Base TV, is just getting the actual content up to a higher standard. But I think, I don't know, what would you guys say from like a bringing more viewers in standpoint?
I think that I agree. creatively. We just need to, get down pat more what specifically our little niche of echo-based TV is going to be. Like Matt Cave, with the exception of this week's, yours is talking about video games. Ted is talking about the fan films and the Star Wars toys and non-Star Wars toys. Meanwhile, I have yet to figure out for sure what I want to do. And that's not to say we have to limit ourselves to one thing, but like I'd say at most personally 3 things that you could pretty much depend on one person to give you, be it, at least in my case, whether it's music, whether it's a top 10 list, or whether it's mine and Ted's who would win in a fight sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to jump back focusing more on retro gaming, because I feel like that's kind of where I fell into things, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. I think it also falls on everyone involved to make sure that we're talking about this, we're sharing it with our friends and family. I try to, as soon as the thing posts, I'm sharing it on Facebook. I've been debating with myself of whether or not I jump into any other form of social media. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Instagram. Twitter, personally, the only thing I know about it is that it seems to be a place of pure evil. But if I have to jump in there to share out good things and maybe send some good vibes, maybe I'll jump in there. But I think it's really about spreading the word.
Just getting it out there, because what we have is so cool. So I'll finish up on that after you read that comment.
Yeah, I have it ordered. It's on its way.
Nice.
I was actually watching Nerdporial play, and I actually met a really cool guy on YouTube. His channel's called Spidey Librarian, and he's been doing some run-throughs of Metroid and some other stuff.
Hey,
really
Adega.
cool guy. But I was telling him about
Games and Adega, you guys are welcome to jump in. Just let me know if you want to.
Yes. Nice. And side note, Adega, I've been really loving your scary stories on Echo-based TV.
Yes.
Very
inspirational, creatively.
You do all of that so well, from the writing to especially the narration. It's amazing.
Yeah, I agree with what Paul says here, and I hope it didn't come across this way. I'm not meaning that people need to get their content standards up. I was just saying, from like a content creator standpoint, we're always looking to improve upon our stuff. There's stuff that I want to fix about my videos. The one I had submitted this week and last week, the audio was terrible, but that was because that waterfall thing was right behind us. So there's not really much we could do about that. But I was just meaning it in the fact of this is supposed to be like a TV show broadcast. And the closer we can get that structure of like the second a sound comes on, oh, that's Ted, the old Star Wars nerd, or oh, that's Adega, like right away, just like you would a TV show. I think that's really important. Not to say that people are not putting out great content, because they are. It's so much fun seeing what everyone makes. I hope that didn't come across weird.
No, I get what you're saying there. It's one of those things that it's so new that over time it's really gonna reach its comfort zone. Think about almost any first season of any show. It has to find its footing. It has to find its thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You watch
look at the
go ahead.
Look at the Clone Wars. People were not really sure about that show at all in like the first, I'd say, 2.5, if not 3 seasons, but then it really started to pick itself up to where people were absolutely heartbroken when it left Cartoon Network at season 5.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yeah, we're gonna find this comfort zone with it. I mean, most show, and I like the TV style format. I grew up just popping on the TV, click on to a channel, and then whatever came on. This I grew up without the on-demand type viewing experience, so I'm perfectly fine with it. It actually feels nostalgic. Going that, I remember when the remote was called the clicker because it clicked.
Yeah. But as far as getting more people to view, I think I think that was you that was saying it, right? It's Monday night and it's been Monday, so let's just.
I hear you.
There's a reason there's not a whole lot of formatting to this, but I think just exposure. And I'm kind of liking that idea of having one of the week's broadcasts on the Echo Base Network channel for one of the weeks to kind of get viewers, because they get pretty significant amount of viewers.
Yeah.
Each broadcast that they do there, and just kind of being like, hey, this is what we do every week, but it's on this channel, so go check it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I have reviews of those on my channel, the Star Wars Guys. I put volume 1 out this past Friday and volume 2 yesterday.
Yeah. It's good reviews too.
People hated Ahsoka, then grew to love her. I never saw any issue with her to begin with. Yeah, I didn't know anything about her really until she was kind of established as a pretty good character. I wasn't into the Clone Wars as they were coming out, but absolutely after season 7, I was a pretty big fan of the growth that she had. I didn't care for her arc with the Martez sisters, but her character development, even through those episodes, was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm with Steve here. I've always liked Ahsoka from the beginning.
Yeah.
She definitely grew on me. I was one of those people that sat in the theater with my best friend, and Ahsoka stepped off the ship, and we're starting to head towards the direction of she's going to be a new student under Obi-Wan. And even that, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, but all right, cool. And then she's assigned to Anakin, and I was just kind of like, how are you going to make this work?
Yeah.
And it took many episodes, many seasons to make that work, at least for me. And now Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters in the entire saga. She's amazing. And now I almost can't imagine the saga story without Ahsoka.
She's an essential, almost original character at this point. Obviously not in the original trilogy, but she's one of those main heart of Star Wars characters at this point. And we've got Adega.
Adega.
How's it going,
sir?
What's up, gentlemen? I can't be very loud. There's sleeping people in this house.
Yeah, me
that's
too.
I'm with you.
I like the glasses.
Always have them on. My eyes don't look as good as I used to because of various different health things. So vanity has me cover them up.
Understandable.
This actually is a real good idea. Coffee of Korriban. I'm still trying to catch. What do people call you for short?
I mean, the people that know my name call me that still.
Okay.
People usually call me Coffee or Korriban.
I'll call you CK because I got to be different.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's fine. Yeah, how much of a Clone Wars fan are you? That's kind of what we've been talking about a little bit.
I like the Clone Wars. I like the last season probably the best, but I thought it progressively got better. I can't say season 8. I mean, the last season that was done before Disney took over. I have not seen the Disney one, which I should. Yeah. My favorite episodes had to be when. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say real quick. Paul says, "Do you feel as creators that Echo Base Network are doing as much as they can to support you and Echo Base TV?" Absolutely.
Yes.
More
without
100%.
hesitation.
Yeah.
And not only what they do online, but having met Coach in person, that he's that type of person. And when he says, I will do whatever it takes to help you guys achieve your goals in your channel, he means it. And you know that he means it. And I've had nothing but support from him. And I tell him all the time, I wish we lived closer, because we would not only go disc golfing all the time, his shoulder permitting, but he'd just be a really good friend of mine if we lived closer. So,
Absolutely.
So absolutely, I feel the support. Anyway, what you were saying about the Clone Wars?
No, I just pointing out a favorite episode. I didn't catch the very beginning of your show tonight, and I was just going to say that I really liked the Yoda arc when he went to what they call Morabon, which is basically Korriban, and dealing with the intricacies of the Force. I thought that was really cool. But there was a lot about it I liked. And I have to agree, Ahsoka ranked really high for me on the Jedi, but she went gray, which I like the gray Jedi. That's why I love Revan. He's my favorite. So anyway,
I'm really pushing if we have a son next for his name to be Revan. But
and good luck with that.
Yeah, man. Look,
are we
I
naming our son Revan? Oh,
Had to ask
I
permission.
think that's a no. I'm really pulling for Malachi Revan because she likes the name Malachi, and if I spell it Malaki or AI, it will have the word Malik in it. So it'll be like Malik and Revan,
wow.
That will work.
maybe.
That's great. Look, I
Yeah.
pushed very much to try to get, when my son was going to be born, I kept pushing for Luke.
Mhm.
And my wife was just like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Whenever I have a son, after I've had a son named Paul Richard Strassner III, he's going to be named Ben.
There you go.
People always ask me if I'm going to name my son Timothy the Third, and I no, just me. Nope. Nerdporial, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing? Figured
I'm
since you were
doing
talking
good.
about Clone Wars,
Yeah.
I own the series on Blu-ray, so big fan. I'd love to talk Clone Wars. Love to
Yeah,
rewatch them and
we'll
stuff.
have you in our
Yeah.
our shows because we're going to make
Absolutely.
this a weekly thing where we recap, kind of like what you do with Tuesday Night Trek.
Yeah.
Just recap as we go through it because I've never seen all of them. And for anyone that's watching for the first time for one of these, this is only the second time I've done this, but these Monday night debriefs is very informal. Like the only rule is no cussing. That's it. Like the topics are all open to whatever. You can come on and tell me how awful your Monday was or how great your weekend was or whatever.
So I can't say like how the frick are you and stuff like that.
Well, that's close. I don't have a no song. No, you're fine.
But I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
But
do.
yeah, I love. I could start with. I love the Sith arcs. To me, my friend was watching it when it was when it was on TV and stuff, and it was really. I watched a few episodes with him. Whenever I went over to his house and stuff. And one thing I did notice is that all the episodes in the first two seasons were like out of order and stuff. So like there were episodes that took place after the opening battle in the movie on, was it Christophsis, I think is the name of the planet.
Yep.
And then there was an episode, I think in season 2, that takes place before that battle, right before that battle. So it was a little bit confusing. But what really got me was seeing the Night Sisters arc in season 3. That literally began the Sith arc, and after that, I just started watching the show full time after that. So, but the Sith arcs I really liked. The Night Sisters arc, the Maul arc, and then of course, it's a shame they never adapted Sons of Dathomir for the final season. I think that would have been a great bridge between the final arc and then the arc with when Sidious basically defeats Maul and captures him and stuff. So but I love those arcs. There was the Citadel arc where they do they have to help a Jedi escape and stuff, and you see Tarkin for the first time. And I think there was the famous Umbara arc with Master Krell, just Jedi Master Krell. That was great.
Michael will have some words about him.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
And then, of
speaking
course, the
Michael,
Yoda arc.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's fine.
But yeah,
And of
speaking
course-
of Michael, again.
Sorry. All right. It's all you.
I just quick update about my brother. He hasn't been on the channel because he has had a wrecked laptop. However, he has a replacement on the way, so he might be there in time for our Clone Wars movie review of Animation Friday. So hopefully
Cool.
that works out.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be awesome.
I'm just busy putting your channel leaks in the chat.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So
Yeah.
This is something I think we should note along the way. I'm all for watching it in release order. What I'll do is I'll throw together the the arcs that are in there. Because even though there are the arcs, and they're primarily in the first and second season, and then you get about some arcs midway through the third season. Once you get about halfway through the third season, it starts to roll out more in chronological order at that point.
Yeah.
But the cool
Okay.
thing, though, is when you watch it in release order, a great example is the episode titled Rookies, and we're meeting some of the main clone soldiers as
Right.
their rookies. The following episode, they're all much higher in rank, and they're on special missions and all kinds of stuff. So it's still really cool to watch it in release order, because it's like, oh, okay, we saw them before, now we're seeing them later. But technically, you could watch this string of 3 episodes that span multiple seasons and tell the story differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it'll be cool
And
to
I'm just
point
going to
out.
say right now, and for anyone in the chat that is watching, just put the links of all the panel you see up here right now. Give them your support. A subscription costs you nothing. It's literally just a little button that you tap. But for some of us, it means a lot. So we really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I will add on to that, something else that also costs nothing is sharing out this stream. I just did it on my Facebook and Twitter. Get the word out. As we were talking about with Echo Base TV, not only should we get the word about that, but we should also get the word out about our individual channels. So absolutely be doing that.
Yeah, that's the key with stuff like this, is making sure, because you can make 1,000 videos, but if nobody knows that you did it,
Right.
it's it becomes a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that I can just hit live, and I mean, right now I got like 14 people watching. It's still weird to me that I would, because it makes sense with like a pre-edited video because you put so much effort into it that like, oh, like 50 people watched it. That's dope. But like, I don't know, with a live video, it's like 14 people, or the other night we had like 23 concurrent viewers. It's like 23 people are sitting there at the same time, just like checking out what I'm talking about. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, man, you get this natural high off of it. It's just like, oh
Right.
man,
Yeah.
this is actually
And
really
it's
cool.
also easy to see how the people that get like 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 viewers at once, how that can become really addicting, and that's all you're focused on. I don't want to get there, but you can see how some people would pour so much effort into getting that at that point.
See, I think
I
I'm
mean,
the oddball. I've never really stressed about any of that. I put my videos up simply because I use it for editing purposes, and I make it entertaining because I thought my family would watch it, and lo and behold, other people start showing up.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of live streams that I pulled down, and the first one I did, there was 7 people within 5 minutes. I'm going, what the heck? This is weird.
Sup, T?
What is
Hey,
going on,
welcome.
everybody?
Hello.
How's your day going?
It's going great. It's going great.
Nice.
So don't let me interrupt. Continue.
Okay. We were talking about Clone Wars and everything, and like I was saying, Monday night debriefs are very informal. It's just come on and talk for a little bit and close out the Monday.
Yeah.
So
It was a long Monday.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
long
talk about
weekend
that.
for me.
How were you guys' Mondays? Or
Busy.
weekends?
Busy.
Woke up late
Because-
like usual.
With me working at a popular caverns in Virginia, I may as well just say the name of it, Luray Caverns. Any federal holiday weekend is going to be busy for us, and Columbus Day is no exception, because how do you celebrate the fact that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492? You go visit a place that has nothing to do with him.
There you
Mhm.
go.
Let's go get him some caves.
Yeah.
Those are some nice mugs.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah. See, I work for a cable and network service provider, and every day can potentially be busy. But I lead a team that is very self-sufficient. I'm very blessed for that. But when I am needed, I am needed. And today was one of those days where you kind of just there's a lot of communication via email and stuff, and we're trying to stay on top of everything that can happen. So today was one of those nonstop, like I can't even get out of my chair to stretch days. Like
Man.
I just got to move around, like something, because every once in a while something blows up, and we all just got to come together and keep it moving. But especially if it's customer impacting, I mean, the second somebody's internet goes out these days, it's like the world is ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. There's a comment for you, Adega.
I do audiobooks. My latest works, I used to have everything on there, and I pull it off as it goes along. I have been fortunate enough to actually be published, and then I had another publisher that recruited me. I liked the direction they were going, but there were some accidents, hard drives lost, bad editors, COVID, a bunch of things, so it folded. So you can't get my books now. If you could find one on eBay somewhere, you're doing good. But on my channel, I have 3. One is the very beginning of a 5-book series, and then the very end. And then I have a prequel to those 5 are sci-fi. And then I have 2 fantasy ones, and then I'm working kind of a new type of sci-fi that just came out of a strange idea, and people seem to like it. But yeah, there's audiobooks, so you can hear me read it. They are before I edit it. So if it sounds a little sloppy, then, it's just because before editing, I put pictures to it, but none of them match. I just try and get close to it. But yeah, if you sub to my channel, go to my playlist, you can see things. I also have a lot of these things that you're seeing on Echo Base are things that I put on one of my playlists called Odds and Ends, stuff that I've done for other people. The next 2 that are going to come out for Echo Base are one I did last year and one of my very first ones that I did. There's you guys can hear the music on my programs. It's from a guy called he calls his company co.ag, co.ag, and we've gotten to be friends. He's a guy from England, and he'll make a song and I'll write something to it, or vice versa. And so a lot of the stuff you're hearing is inspired by his music, or the other way around. Like what you're getting next week, he threw out something last year, so this is one of the newer ones. He threw out something last year. He says, write me something that matches all work and no play. It was for Halloween, because we always do these collabs for Halloween. I said, okay, so you'll get that next week. And then the final one is a vampire one. It's kind of long, but yeah, just look at you go to my channel if you're interested. It's all early stuff, but
Yeah, and it's very inspirational stuff for me, because my background is in poetry, and most people think poetry is, roses are red, violets are blue, but like I've been into the really detailed poetry, really complex, vague, as a songwriter that comes across in my songs as well. But like you really have to dig into it to get the deeper meaning. And there's a difference between a novel or a short story and a poem, obviously, as far as length. But your channel's inspired me to get back into writing that stuff. Just
my philosophy. I did this last time. I mentioned to you. My philosophy is the more voices, and it was in chat that I did it. The more voices that are out there, it's just brain power. You guys are all, I think all of you are Christian, and God gave us brains to share our inspirations and ideas. And if you don't write down what comes to your mind, everyone is lacking of that little bit of inspiration, that little bit of God-given intelligence to you, which could have been shared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sus T, I was going to tell you real quick. Remember my whole webcam dilemma I was talking about?
Yes.
What was I doing the whole time?
Oh yeah, you're wait, you didn't get it?
No, I'm not using it right now, but I just realized today, like, why haven't I been using this as my webcam?
Oh yeah, I know. That's awesome.
I just need a
that's
battery adapter.
That's what all the big boy streamers do.
I know. Like, what am I doing trying to buy like all these like expensive webcams when I already have that and I just need a cable?
That's really how they do it?
Yeah, most of them use I think the like Sony A7
Wow.
I or 3 or whatever, because it's a mirrorless camera. It's a digital camera, but they're really expensive ones. And they use those. They just plugs in and you download software and you can use it. This one, because it's a DSLR, you have to get like it ends up being like 4K video, so like really high quality because it's a legitimate camera with a big image sensor. But you got to download extra software onto this, and then software on your computer, and get like a capture card thing that does HDMI out of this. There's a way to do it, but I'm gonna get that set up, and it'll be better than what I'm using right now.
So basically, when it's done, we'll be able to see all the individual hair fibers and the curls there.
It will probably not look as impressive when it's like that, but yes.
Speaking of
Memorial.
impressive, I did sense a tremor in the beard force. I sense an epic beard in the chat.
Oh, you are right.
I knew I
Yes.
felt something.
Hello.
I don't know if this is the
What is
right
happening
movie.
down there?
I don't think this is the right movie. Do I have a lightsaber? Right? Kind of.
That is something.
Wow. What is going on?
I'm really confused.
I have no
Nerdporial,
idea
how was
he's
your
looking.
Monday or weekend?
My weekend, I went to a birthday party twice. My buddy's birthday was this weekend, so he had people over at his house, and then he had people over at his parents. So I ended up not doing any streaming or anything this weekend. So, oh wait, it's
Right
Darth
on.
Maul in the chat. Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I have so many. They're not Star Wars, but there are so many of these that actually look pretty cool.
Your mind will speak for you.
Do you have a Revan one?
Break.
I don't think Snapchat people are that geeked up, but I can check.
Oh, that's coming from Snapchat?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
Let me see. No, there's only the Darth Maul, Darth Vader, etc.
That one looks pretty good for a filter.
It does.
Can you say at last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi? At last we will have revenge. Will you say that at least?
Say it. Say it.
The
Okay,
one line and the one line Maul says in episode 1.
Do I have to do his accent too, or his
Yes,
voice?
yes.
Oh, yeah,
goodness.
absolutely.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you do.
goodness. All right. It was just to get it right. It was alas we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Alas we will have revenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Alas, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Alas, we will have revenge.
You know, when I
accept
cut
it.
you in half, I should have aimed for your neck.
To be fair, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It sounds like you need some Robitussin.
Or last rites.
Yeah.
No, that's Darth Maul voice after screaming Kenobi like he does.
Yeah. What an amazing addition to that character that Sam Witwer brought
Yeah.
Yes.
to Maul.
Yes. I was thinking about that the other day. Do I define Maul as Ray Park or Sam Witwer? Yes.
Yes, it's both. Both. I
Yeah.
wonder if they had to have met. These two
Oh,
have
mhm.
had
I'm
to have
sure.
I
met,
would
right?
hope so.
Yeah.
They
If they
use Ray
haven't, that's
Park's.
just a crime.
They use Ray Park's movements for the final arc of the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
believe
and
it.
it shows in the battle. It
Yeah.
shows, especially if you see the behind the scenes when they're in their motion capture suits. It really makes a huge difference. I'm so glad they did that for the final
And in
season.
Solo, I'm pretty sure that was Ray Park that you see physically
hmm
in the movie, but it's Sam Witwer's voice.
Yeah, Sam
Yeah.
voiced over him. Yep.
Mhm. Thoughts on the recently announced Star Wars books? I didn't hear anything about those. You guys know anything?
I know they've been bringing the old EU back in reissues, but are they doing something new?
From what I understand, is they're trying to correct some of the continuity errors that the prequels made, and I've also heard there's gonna tweak Luke, and the way the story overview sounds, it's not in a good way, but we'll see.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah,
like they're actually gonna tamper with original trilogy stuff?
It's
Ah.
a
I
story
don't like the
of
sound of that.
it's a story of sequel trilogy Luke going to search for Exegol with Lando.
Oh, well, that actually could have been cool on film.
I mean, judging
they-
off of what happened with the comics when Vader was like doing the Exegol stuff with that Ochi or whatever his name was,
Hmm.
I think they should steer away from that. Because I heard people that read that comic with Vader going to Exegol and whatever, and they ripped it apart. I mean, the one thing is like, why didn't Vader tell Luke as he was dying, "Oh, by the way, the Emperor's been cloning himself, and like, there's a whole other planet where he's amassing a fleet."
It's because it didn't happen.
That's
Pretty much.
that's the right answer. That is the exact right answer. Okay, let's see. We got
Oh,
Shadows
boy.
of the Sith, Brotherhood, Padawan, and one other. Yeah, I haven't heard any of those. I don't know about that. Maybe I don't have my finger on the pulse of Star Wars as much as I should.
So Green Lantern put something in the chat that I don't understand. One of these days, I'm going to get someone to say John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmitz.
Oh,
I don't get it.
Well, he
The
just
song-
got you to
John
say it.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
Green
song.
I've heard
Lantern, you
this-
got your wish.
I've heard the song, but why is that such a big deal?
Well, his name is my name too.
Well, he can
Whenever
die
I
happy
go
now.
out, the people always shout, saying John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Well, yeah. There you go, Green Lantern. I said it for you.
There you go. Now you can die happy.
Wow.
Sus T, what do you got going on?
This is
Other
pod
than
racing.
pod racing. This is pod racing.
He's on the second lap.
This is
That is so wizard.
You're welcome.
Bringing it back. You know what I gotta say? Just thinking about pod racing now at this point, and just the combination of that scene and just phenomenal sound editing.
Oh yeah.
The sound of Sebulba's engines just creeping up on Anakin throughout those moments adds
Terrifying.
this tension. Like it's just like, oh my god, like is he gonna just like overtake him and plow through? Like just what an amazing job that Ben Burt and his team did with that sound. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Not to
Ben
mention-
Burt is responsible for like a lot of the sounds of movies from the 70s. I mean, I didn't know, but he worked on Invasion of the Bystanders, which is the movie I'm currently trying to write a review for. And like those creepy sounds of them whenever they spot people who are not pod people, you know, it's
Yeah. That's
this
a
is
great
before
film.
this is before reeing was ever a thing.
TK421, why aren't you at your post?
TK421, do you copy?
I think we got a bad transmitter.
Control lever over 9,000. That was kind of sick. Not in a good way.
Wow.
You don't like
That's-
it?
No, you're turning into our father.
One of you had to. I
Do you-
believe
do you
that's a
remember-
rule.
Matt Cave, when my dad was doing the alien head, the potato.
Yeah, I'll stop.
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing, dude. It was
It's
fucking
a
hilarious.
it's a Lord Crit tribute act.
That's true.
Look,
That's true.
being a father of two, I can't help but just enjoy silly humor like that. I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
I mean, I literally have
I
a
concur.
T-shirt that says "Dad joke loading."
that is it's in itself a dad joke, and it's fantastic.
And the fact that the other day I made that video and the first comment was you talking about my sweater. I
I'm
was
like, that is
oh
such a
boy, I
dad
made it.
sweater. I approve. I actually
Matt,
was
send-
thinking to myself, like, man, I kind of want that sweater.
Send me a
Nice.
send me a link to that T-shirt, Matt, so I can get it for my dad for Christmas.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, if an amazing source of dad style shirts, Target.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, look at the clearance racks and stuff like that. And you will find
I'll check it out.
amazing finds.
Okay.
I'll check it out for sure. Any of you guys got anything coming up this week? It's either for your channels or personally that you're interested in?
Well, I know I'm doing. Well, I'm working on my Invasion of the Bystanders video. Hopefully, I can get that out this week. Not making any
That's
promises though. But I'm doing another Metroid stream on Wednesday. And
Can't wait
then
to play it. It looks so good.
it's tough. You're being hunted by these Emmy robots and stuff, and it's like, you know, you have to be smart to outwit them and stuff, because they will chase you until they will never stop chasing you. So
Yes.
so I'm doing that, and then on Thursday I'm going to go see a horror movie that I like. It's called Halloween. Halloween Kills.
Ooh, Halloween Kills. Yeah.
So I'm going to be, I'm going to go see the movie, and then I'm going to do my reaction. So if you don't like horror, you don't like mayhem and stuff,
That's
it's
all
fine.
good. I'll
but
be there with you. I'm in.
Nice.
But it's but I can't wait to see it. I actually really like the 20. It's a sequel to the 2018 Halloween film, and it's a really good sequel to the original 1978 film. I'm a big fan of the original 1978 film. It's not too violent. It's all tension. And I scare easy, so hence why I like it.
I am not as well versed in Halloween or horror movie history as I should be. There's a lot that I haven't seen.
Oh, there's so many different levels to horror movies and thrillers. Like there's literally hundreds of horror movies that come out every year that nobody ever knows about.
Right, because they're all indie films.
Amazon Prime plays a ton of them. I just saw one the other night called Sand. And it's just about a bunch of people that were partying out on a beach, and there was like a creature in the sand that will suck you down.
I still got to see.
Kind of like Tremors?
Kind of like Tremors, but like a little more brutal.
I still got to see, what was it called? Rubber?
Oh, definitely watch Rubber.
Okay.
Yeah, Rubber. Oh, I remember. I have to say that too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sus T, do you know about Rubber?
I have no clue, but it
have
looks
you seen
amazing.
Rubber?
Matt Cave, for Sus T and our guests, our viewers, why don't you explain what the premise is? The premise
happily.
of the movie is.
Would you like to start it off though by advising your audience that I'm not lying?
Okay, he is not
That's a
lying.
great way to
I've
start.
seen
No, he's
the
not.
trailer, and he has the physical movie in front of him, so he is
Yeah.
not lying. Just believe what you hear.
And I've heard this story too. I can vouch for it.
Yes. So, the wonderful film known as Rubber is about a tire. And this tire is alive. But not only is it alive, it is enraged. And it is vengeful. And it has telekinetic powers. And it will murder you. And it goes after people by making their heads explode and all kinds of stuff using its telekinetic powers. Sometimes it kills an animal. Sometimes it chooses not to. And it just rolls around a small Midwestern town, wreaking havoc. Meanwhile, there's an audience within the movie. I didn't tell you guys that part last time.
No, I didn't know about that.
No.
I'm really
Mind blown.
intrigued now.
It's a self-aware, I don't even know how to describe this. But everyone, if you have not seen Rubber, please go watch Rubber.
Am I correct to assume that you have that on Blu-ray?
Oh yeah, I haven't had this in the collection for the longest time, and it finally released.
That is so awesome.
And the second, let me tell you how desperately I wanted to add this to the collection. You know how on some apps you can set like a reminder of like, hey, when this comes out, let me know. I've had that reminder on for several years, and it finally popped up, and I went.
So backstory here. Backstory. Where did you figure out about this? Like, who told you, or did you just like randomly stumble across it?
Oh, you know how I just told you about the movie?
Mhm.
One of the guys I used to work with told me about this, and at the time, this movie was actually on Netflix. This is the early years of Netflix when they first started streaming,
Mhm.
and this was the type of content you got on Netflix.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff, a lot of C
Yeah.
movies on Netflix at the time.
Yeah.
Right
And
when they
he told
started
me about it,
streaming.
and he goes, I swear to you it's real. Just go watch it. I watched it that day after work, and my life has been different ever since.
Well, I gotta hand it to the
Wow.
producer. They saved a lot of money or no money on a lead actor or actress.
They really did. And look, I think the best way to describe the movie is you can't unsee it.
All right, Sus T, when
Noted.
you come over to my
Yes.
house, we're watching Rubber.
Yes. That sounds so good.
We'll have a Discord
see it.
watch party or something.
Nice.
Just
Oh,
like my brother though, I'm not very well versed in horror movies in general. Like I've probably seen maybe 5. Like I don't know if you count A Quiet Place as a horror movie or if that's more of a suspense.
I count it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
thriller, horror
So
thriller.
I've seen that, The Shining, obviously, it's original. And then I saw, what was the one we watched the other like 2 nights ago? I think it's called Omen or something
yeah,
like
The
that.
Omen. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Hmm.
It's all for you, Damien.
Yeah. That's the movie. Yeah, right. That's the whole thing.
A recommendation of a great movie that does a crazy gross out. The Thing, from 1982. The
Ooh,
Thing.
No.
yes.
No,
John Carpenter's The
I've
Thing.
seen it. Refuse to ever see that again.
Some of the
It's an awesome
best
movie.
effects you'll ever, practical effects
Yes.
that are so horrifying. Now, let me ask you this, Neporial, did you see the prequel
I
that
did.
came out with what's his name? The guy who played young Uncle Owen is it?
Yes.
Oh, they did such a
2011.
great job. Yeah.
I liked it too. I thought it was going to be crap, but it was actually pretty good.
It was actually so good. And
They
led
actually
right into
they showed the process of the two faces merging together. It's crazy.
I mean, I'll watch anything with Kurt Russell in it because he's just freaking amazing.
It's Kurt
Mhm.
Russell.
But yes, 1982's The Thing is terrifying.
There's a lot of fire.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fire. The original movie from 1951 had a lot of fire in it too. The only difference was it was just basically a really tall man in a suit.
Yeah, it was kind
That
of
was- that was the-
plant-like.
that
It
was-
was like, yeah.
Okay,
More-
so
More science fiction.
the original The Thing that came out before the one with Kurt Russell is not nearly as gross as the 1982 one. Okay,
Oh,
No,
so
not
it was,
all.
it was
That-
19. It
All
was
right.
1950. It was,
all right, I'll watch that one, but the 1982 or the 2011 one, absolutely not. I'd sooner go play Among Us because it's the same story.
I'll check out
I
the
don't blame
50s
you.
one with you.
You know
I'll
what?
check it
That's
out.
what Among Us is based on.
Yeah.
In all
Yeah,
honesty.
who poisoned the blood bank? You know.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
But yeah,
speaking.
But yeah, I'm gonna take off. So Tim, thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're
Good to
always
see you.
welcome. Have a good rest
Paul
of your
J.
night.
Lewis.
See you Tuesday, man.
All right, see you tomorrow. Are we
See
doing?
ya.
By the way, before I go, are we doing the 10 episode?
Yes,
tomorrow?
I
I gotta
just
be
finished
prepped
my
up then.
list. Do 10 favorite, 5 least favorites.
Oh, okay. Five favorite, 5 least favorite. Okay, gotcha. All right, take care, everyone.
See you later.
Have a good
See
one,
ya.
man.
Bye.
So, speaking of movies and plans for the week, Wednesday, I'm thinking, depending on how late I have to work, I got to double check my schedule. But I think I'm going to watch and review this.
Ooh, there you go.
See, that's got to be on my list. Also, I haven't seen that.
So,
There's so
yeah.
much I haven't seen. Matt Cave, you would be disappointed.
I'm here
My
to
list
help
is
you guys.
probably very similar to Paul's.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure if you assembled a list, Tim, any brain cells that I didn't kill with my list, you would finish off.
Yeah.
There's so many great Arnold moments in Total Recall that, I mean, I don't even want to spoil any of them. But just, there's some stuff
Debbie.
you're going to see in that movie.
I believe it. I've seen the Nostalgia Critic review of it, so I have an idea of what happens. I've just never actually seen the movie.
Yeah. And there is a remake of it that so it's funny. It's one of those cases where this 80s film, Total Recall, it's based off of a novel. But they took a whole lot of liberties with this film, the Arnold version, and it strays from the book. The remake that came out with Colin Farrell is closer to the book, but not as good. It's
Interesting.
It's not a bad movie. It just, I don't know. Once you see the Arnold version, it's like, nah, you can't remake that.
Right, because it's Arnold.
Yeah.
Adega, any movies that I should see that you think I might not have seen?
Out of spooky stuff?
Or just whatever, just like classic movies that are like, you have to have seen this, but I probably haven't.
One you might have. Well, considering you haven't seen Total Recall, probably you haven't seen either one of those. Going on the spooky side and more newer, I'm usually not scared, and I wasn't scared of this movie, but just kind of it was freaky idea was White Noise.
Ooh, that's a good one. Michael Keaton.
Yep,
Mm.
yep. The premise of it, it's something that you could almost see being real, which is why it was pretty funky. The other one you have to dig for it. They might have it on Amazon. And if you're fine with not seeing anyone or any text or not hearing anyone speak, just music, it's old Metropolis.
Yes.
I want to see Metropolis. I want to see Metropolis because I've never have, and I've heard a lot of good things about
It was
it.
brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah. A lot of inspiration. People have taken a lot of inspiration from that in a lot of modern works. I know that.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
that's definitely worth seeing. There's lots of films that have inspired things we know of today. Like you see certain things and you're like, oh, I've seen this so many times replicated. It's almost like how like almost every show ends up having a Christmas episode that's spoofing A Wonderful Life or something like that. Like you've seen this premise like countless times.
Or like
Right.
Psych with every episode.
Well, yeah, because that's what made Psych amazing. It's just a
Psych is
pop culture
so
reference every moment. That's one of my wife and I's favorite shows, by the way.
I haven't, but I'll add it to my list, Daryl.
What's that?
That one. Dude,
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is, but hey,
Gremlins?
look, it's Daryl's
Gremlins.
face. Look at
Have
that.
you seen Gremlins?
Yes,
I have not.
both of them.
Ooh.
The second one's not as good. First
Second
one, you
one's
gotta see
like a-
Gremlins.
Second one's a straight up comedy making fun of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing is good. That one Deborah's bringing up. That's a good movie with Nicolas Cage. The original, The Day the Earth Stood Still. Did you guys ever
Yes.
see that?
Yes.
So there's actually a decent remake starring Keanu Reeves. It's not bad, but the original is where it's at. I think that was 1956, I want to say, somewhere around there. Such a great concept of an alien who looks human comes to Earth and is there to evaluate. And he's there to decide, does this planet continue? Are we worth it? And it's a great psychological film. I'd almost consider it somewhat of a, depending on how you look at it, I guess a thriller, because it's really like, are we going to make it? Is humankind going to make it? What does this guy think of us?
Yeah.
Great film.
Matt Cave, have you seen The Conspiracy? That's like a documentary thing, like a fake documentary thing. Because it seems like a movie that you would really like.
The Conspiracy.
It's okay. So
I know it's not.
It's-
You're not thinking Conspiracy Theory, the Mel Gibson movie, right?
No. This is when I watched it for the first time, I legit thought it was a documentary, like a real documentary about conspiracy theorists and weird, shady Illuminati, Mithraists stuff or whatever. But I legit thought it was a real documentary at the beginning because that's how it's presented in the first half of the movie. And then weird stuff starts happening, and by that point I was so invested thinking it was a real documentary that it was like really scary, and it has to do with a lot of real life stuff. And then you start seeing things around you that are like the same stuff that they talk about in that documentary movie thing. And it's one of those movies where you're scared after you see the movie, as opposed to just when you're watching it. But it seems like that would be something right up your alley.
I'll definitely look that up. That sounds awesome. And it's somewhat similar of an experience. So I grew up, seeing all this stuff through the 80s and the 90s and everything.
Yeah.
And so I witnessed the found footage genre coming to life.
Right. And I'm just going to preface right now, we watched that movie through VidAngel. So we took out the language, and there was a lot of like little quiet moments. So just
I could imagine.
prefacing that. So there's a lot of stuff that I'll say like, oh yeah, I saw that, I liked that, but like we watched it through like one of those filtering services. So
Nothing wrong with that.
sometimes I don't recommend stuff, but
But I saw the Blair Witch Project when it first came out, and there was a lot of mystery surrounding that of whether or not it was real. We got final confirmation at one of the MTV Movie Awards when the cast came out.
Oh,
But
hey, by the way, Monday is over now.
oh, happy
We can
Tuesday,
get on
everyone!
with the rest of our week. So yeah, happy Tuesday.
Yes.
All right, continue.
I thought I felt a
What do
sudden
you mean?
breath
It's
of
9
new life.
p.m.
Yeah, you still got 3 hours, says T.
Yep.
But we came out of a bunch of our friends went, and we came out of that theater. One dizzy because we got there late, and back then you can't pick your seat, so we got the front row. So we're like
Oh, yeah.
this, watching
Yeah.
Blair Witch shake all over the place. And it just so happened that night we were going to spend the night at my friend's house, and his entire neighborhood went dark. There was a power outage. And it was pitch black because it was like back and there's woods and everything everywhere. So we're like, are you serious? This is what's happening right now? So we were terrified after that after that movie.
Yep.
Yeah, the other day, I'm a CPR instructor. That's what I do for my job. I certify people, and I one of the locations that I had to go to the other day, it was about an hour from my house, and it's in between like some hills, and it's at like a church that allows us to use their property to teach classes at, and earlier in the day, me and my friends had gotten this new video game, and we were playing it. It's like a horror game. It's called The Labyrinth, and it is really scary. Like I don't get scared easily from like video games in general, but like they did an amazing job because it was a very scary game where you get split up from your team. You get multiple people chasing you through a maze, and it's really, really scary. And then so I go and do my CPR class. And after, it's at a church, and it's a fairly small church in the middle of nowhere. So already when you're leaving, I have to turn off all the lights and do all that stuff. And then I turn off all the lights, and I hear this giant thud on the roof. It's like, and I'm like, I'm the only one here. My car is the only one parked outside, and there's no one around for like 2 miles. And then so I like turn on the lights again. I look outside. I'm like, there's no other cars here. Like, what's going on? And I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm like, all right, it's probably just my imagination. I'm just gonna turn off the lights. So I turn off the lights again, and as soon as I turn off the lights, I hear this like squeak / like faint little moan or something outside. And I'm like, what the heck? Is there like a homeless dude jumping on the roof and stomping his feet? Like, what is going on? Someone's gonna kill me. And so I go outside and I lock up, and I'm like looking around and everything. And then I look on the other side of my car, and there's this little baby kitten that jumped off the roof, which is the thud I heard, and was meowing, and that was the noise I heard. And that scared the heck out of me.
Now, Matt Cave, I know you said you played Outlast.
Yes.
Oh, that one's good.
Yeah,
High five.
Imagine walking to your cousin's house, like in the next neighborhood over
was there.
at like 6 or 7 p.m. when it's still light out, playing Outlast, and then having to walk back through the neighborhood to your own house at 3 a.m. after playing Outlast by yourself.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It was so
scary.
Can I wait? Let me just say something real quick, because just we did Outlast at Tyler's house, right?
Mhm.
And that was the scariest game up until recently that I played. I recently, when it came on sale, I bought Outlast 2. And originally I was like, oh, Outlast 1 was a fun game. It was cool. And then I was like, okay, I was a little scared. Let me try Outlast 2. A couple side notes here is the tag for Outlast 1 is survival horror. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the tag for Outlast 2 is psychological horror. That is, like I told you about Labyrinth and Outlast and all those, that is the scariest game I have ever played. I still have not completed it, and I have probably like 6 hours or 8 hours into the game. It is so scary because you're not just confined into a little building running away from these crazy people. Like, it could be anything. You're out in the wilderness in a town, and it is. I don't know if you played that one, Matt Cave, but I would highly recommend it if you enjoyed the first one.
I have the sequel. I haven't played it yet.
It's amazing.
But the first one I played all the way through, and then even played the add-on, the DLC, the Whistleblower version. And fantastic game. That's an indie game. That's a game that came out of nowhere, and they did a fantastic job with it. But that's sometimes psychological thrillers are more terrifying than just blood and gore. Like, I don't need to watch a horror movie to see blood and gore. If it has a good story and it's messing with my head, like I'm all for it. Like sometimes I lean more towards that than anything else. Like the one Adega mentioned, White Noise with Michael Keaton is more psychological, but it taps into the paranormal world, and it really gets you thinking. Like, what's possible? What are the possibilities with all of this? That's one of the reasons why, speaking of paranormal, I really liked the Paranormal Activity films. Again, it's like found footage genre, but I
Yeah,
thought
I
they
still
did it
haven't-
really well.
I didn't see him.
The second one I saw in theaters. I saw actually all the first three in theaters. But the second one had this moment that I'll never forget this. It was a packed theater, every seat taken, and there's this moment where it keeps jumping around from different cameras that they set up in the house. So you're just watching this woman. She's in the kitchen. She's whatever putting something away, and it's a very, very quiet scene. And out of nowhere, every single kitchen cabinet door busts open, and one of those pots and pan racks starts falling, and it comes out of nowhere. The entire theater jumped. It was incredible. Like the room shook.
Wow.
Like, I can't believe what I just experienced with like 300 people or whatever. I was like,
Right.
This was amazing.
Speaking of psychological, Matt Cave, did you ever play Eternal Darkness
Yes.
on the GameCube? How you go insane? I
Yep.
thought that was always cool to play insane.
Yeah. That one, actually, my disc got so scratched. I actually have it now on the was it Dolphin, the GameCube emulator?
Yep.
Because I've not been able to get another copy of it. You like can't find that game anywhere.
Right.
But yeah, that's any movie or game where your lead character is losing their mind and you as the audience are kind of going along with the ride with them. Like, it's so fascinating to really get those that you feel like you're that character at points. It's like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it's crazy how some things like that will draw you in. But that's a great example, that game where you're actually your character's losing his mind as you play.
Yeah. W16, did anyone here ever watch the X-Files? I did not.
Bits and pieces.
I don't know what it is. But I think
It
she
is-
mentioned something about starting like a video series talking about it or explaining it. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to
Absolutely.
learn.
It's one of the
more
best
about
TV series. It's in the top 10 of all
It
time.
So
really
I've
is.
heard.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I just have never gotten into it.
There's basically so many duos in sci-fi now that are immediately compared to Mulder and Scully. Like, they set the bar, and now you got to try to be as good as Mulder and Scully. And there's even
Right.
a point where the series veered off and Robert Patrick replaces Mulder, not taking over his character, just as a new character takes a spot. And Robert Patrick, for those who may not know, is the T-1000 in Terminator 2.
Great job at that, by the way.
Yeah. I just learned a fact about that movie that he learned, you know, that crazy run he does?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Oh, I saw that.
going. You saw this clip I was on? Yeah.
Yep.
So he apparently got so good at that run and so fast that they had to do several takes because he kept catching up to the dirt bikers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
He had to back it down.
Yeah. He had to learn how to breathe through his nose so it looked like he wasn't human.
That's crazy. Now that I noticed that, yeah, he doesn't have his mouth
Mhm.
open.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Well, gentlemen and Lady Deborah Young, I'm going to have to sign out in just a
Yeah,
minute.
we're
I've
wrapping
got
it
a few
up in a
things to
minute.
do.
Yeah. It was great to finally talk to you, Adega. I think this is
Yeah,
the
great
first
having you on.
stream we had on.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. No, you guys have said some kind words that are probably wholly undeserving, but no, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, well, we're all content creators. We're all making our stuff, and
Yeah.
the more we can encourage each other, the more we all get better. So
Just a side note, and I'm patting myself on the back because I thought this was really cool. It happened a few months ago. You have any of you watch Top Five's YouTube channel?
Sometimes.
Okay, 3.5 million subscribers. They contacted me and said, "Hey, write for us." So I now
Hey.
write for them too. Yeah.
Nice.
nice.
So I have fun with it. But anyway, that's one of the things I got to go do. So
Awesome.
Folks, have a
Did you
good
know
night.
who I was talking about with Corpse Husband when I mentioned that earlier?
No,
I don't know if you.
But do you know
Okay.
Corpse
I
lives
might
in
have missed it.
Corpse lives 30 minutes from me. He lives in Marietta.
Mm.
Dude, I'm friends with, or was friends with Corpse Husband. I'd hang out with
Wow.
him like almost every day.
You're
I know
kidding.
his name and I know his
You
real
are
name. And
absolutely kidding.
dude, he's in like a couple of my YouTube videos, like earlier on my channel.
He
Wow.
did parkour.
Nice.
Yes,
So I probably met him.
probably.
So he went to FIM?
Yes,
What in the
like
world?
all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
calling you as soon as this stream is done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
well,
by the way,
Adega, if you got to take off, then you have a great night.
do.
We're wrapping
Yep.
up.
And
Yeah,
by the
man.
way,
anyway.
Good to
Adega,
see
you
ya.
are welcome anytime on the Star Wars, guys.
The easiest thing to do, because I normally don't jump on. This was kind of fun tonight. Not that I don't like to, it's just difficult for me to do it. If there's time, catch me on Twitter.
Fair enough.
You know, because I'm doing things. So anyway, have a good night, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You too.
Thanks for
Good night,
coming on,
Adega.
dude. Appreciate it.
I do really quick want to go back to talking about scary video games, because one game that I feel like people have sort of forgotten how scary it is, the original Five Nights at Freddy's. Because yes, Five Nights at Freddy's has jumped the shark so many times it hasn't hit the ground yet. But the I'd say first two Five Nights at Freddy's, just the gameplay experience by itself was...
I never played him, but I know exactly
was
what you're talking about.
absolutely chilling for its time.
Yep. It's that you basically know that these things are creeping their way towards you,
Mhm.
and all you have to work with is checking these different cameras and everything, and it, eventually a jump scare is going to happen.
Yeah. Especially in the first one, where you have to, turn on the lights, check the cameras, close the doors, but also conserve your power, because if not, you died.
Yep. Well, that was the thing
It's-
about Outlast. You run out of batteries,
Mm-hmm.
and the camera goes out, and that was your night vision. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The
You're all hiding in the lockers and everything. Man, that game was so scary.
Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's, I haven't watched this film yet, and actually, I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember the name of it. Did
The
anyone
Nicolas
see the?
Cage one?
Yes. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Do you guys know what we're talking about?
Mm-mm.
So imagine Five Nights at Freddy's, except you flip it. It's Nicolas Cage. He goes into this place that's clearly inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's, and the things that are in there, the animatronic whatever characters, are coming to life to go after him. Except here's the thing: the premise of the film is he's not locked in there with them; they're locked in there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts going after them, and they're terrified.
That's
Mm.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's Nick Cage?
Nicolas Cage. Oh, he puts out about 30 films a month. No one really realizes this, but Nicolas Cage has like 1,000 movies under his belt.
One of my
believe
favorite movies ever is one of his Family Man. I'm sure you've seen it.
Such a good one.
That's
Been
one
forever.
of my
Film.
favorite movies.
Yep.
I like Face Off.
Oh, I love Face Off.
I never saw it.
Oh man, that's a great film. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage,
Pretending to be each other.
and they act
Yeah.
like each other so
Yes,
well.
they do.
Oh my god, the I don't even know how it's just amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is a work night, so Matt Cave, I hope you don't have another day like you did today.
Hopefully
it lightens
tomorrow is
up a little bit.
easier.
Yeah. You're doing your RE3 stream tomorrow or some other time, whenever.
Hopefully soon, because I want to finish off the that game where I should be able to do it in a part 2.
The next episode, yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to get as far as we did the other night, because that's such a pivotal moment in the game.
Yeah.
But that's also more than halfway. And the pace really picks up after that. So I think I'll be able to bang it out. It's just it comes down to if I'm awake enough to do it.
Yeah. I fall asleep, and then earlier today, I went back and watched to try to figure out when I fell asleep. It was like 2 minutes before you ended the stream, so I didn't miss
Nice.
all that much. But oh, there you go. Now you got your
Yeah.
corpse husband. Nice.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I don't know. Figuring out that's the other trick. Like kind of backtracking a little bit to talk about
Oh
what
man,
we.
I'm sorry, dude. Hope you feel better.
Oh man, yeah, feel better, man. How we were talking about what we're doing for our channels and how we keep looking for ways to improve and stuff.
Mhm.
The trickiest thing for me lately is figuring out timing for all this stuff. Like I try to
Yeah.
post something in advance to schedule it if I can, but it gets tricky. You know, sometimes I just have to randomly just go live, and it's just like, okay, well, I'll hope for the best, and
Yeah.
hopefully people
I
show
mean, at
up.
the end of the day, you're playing a game, so
Yeah, it can always be rewatched. That's the thing. I'm like, the replay will be there. That's
yeah.
cool. But
And
it's always so
speaking
much
of
fun.
replays, I was blown away with how many replays I had of last Friday's show on my channel. I had like 130 replays, which
Yeah.
I've never gotten that many on a live show. I rarely even get that many views on a normal video. So
That's so awesome.
that was pretty crazy. I probably just because of the panel I had.
My
It
most
was-
replays were my 100 subscriber celebration video. I was like, wow, people actually went
Yeah.
back and watched that. That was like 4 hours long.
Yeah, I got a good chunk of watch time just from people going back and replaying it too, which is pretty
Nice.
impressive. Most people don't really watch all that much on a replay, but yeah,
That's good
hopefully this makes a difference.
stuff. That's gonna be
with
awesome.
once I get that set up, because I know you can do stuff with the like AV output into USB, but it's only 720. But it should be the same as normal 1080 because the image sensor size is bigger. And then
Oh,
there's
so
a
maybe-
way to get software onto this, basically like jailbreaking it, like you went on a phone, but like on this. So install like aftermarket software onto the camera, and then HDMI out to HDMI capture card. And then that would basically be like 4K. So I know there's a way to do it. I just have to look into it a little bit more.
Yeah, it might
but
be doing an
that should make a
upconversion.
big difference. It should make a difference over my $10 webcam. So my 1080p webcam. But yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get that worked out, because then I won't have to have it like teetering on a laptop screen and trying to set it up. I'll have it on a tripod and it'll be good to go.
There you go.
So we'll see.
Cool.
What's your next upgrade? I know you just got your desk.
My next upgrade, I think I'm gonna upgrade one of these monitors. My secondary monitor is considerably smaller than my primary. I do want to get the arm for the camera. The camera did come with the connection adapters for it, but not the arm. So I'll get that and connect it to the wall I'm facing and bring it forward, so I can bring, because I really like this microphone and how it sets up and how it can angle and everything, but it has an adapter to go on here, but it's also directional. It has settings on here, so I have it so that I'm projecting towards it here, but it's blocking sound.
Well, for how far away the mic is, it sounds really good.
It does, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
most mics do not sound good if they're any more than 6 inches away from your mouth. So
Right.
that one's killing it.
Nice.
I think we learned that one from experience, Tim, with our music video.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot you could do if we were somewhere that didn't have a waterfall or like a grain mill
Right.
behind us or whatever that thing was. It would have
Yeah.
sounded better, but it was okay. We didn't
got
have
it
much
done.
time and we did it.
Yeah.
Next time.
I think my next upgrade, number one, I have improved my Wi-Fi, but I think I'm going to improve it even further and actually switch carriers to Xfinity, like what we were looking at, Matt, earlier. Because over Wi-Fi, I'm having no trouble up here, but I would actually like to be able to stream games at some point, which I just can't do for whatever reason. But then after that, I think I'm gonna upgrade my mic further. I want to get whatever I want to get. I know it's a Yeti mic. I just can't remember which one it is that Golgo 13 has, because apparently he got the one that's both USB and XLR.
If you can bite the bullet and pay 200 or 250, I would get the Shure MV7. That's the same one Coach uses, because it's XLR and USB out. And with the USB, there's software plugins that you can buy from Shure that make it sound even better than XLR. It'll sound just as good as the $500 SM7B microphone. So if you can afford that, that's the one I'm going to get when I upgrade this in the future, when I don't have to buy diapers every day.
Okay.
But if you can afford like 200, I know that you can find them used, gently used, that is, for about 200. That's the one I'm looking at, but I'm sure Yeti, their higher end stuff is good. Rode, I know, makes great stuff. I mean, as long as you do your research, you'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, all of this is likely going to have to happen after I have completely built a new desktop, because that's something that Michael and I both are looking at. And with help of a friend of mine at work, I have priced out a good starter yet powerful gaming PC build for just over $600.
Wow.
Okay.
What are do you know your parts?
I don't doubt that, Paul. Lewis.
I can get them. I can get the link to them on PC Part Picker and put them in the private chat for you.
Okay, that would be awesome. Like I have
hit him up on Discord. He's on.
Yeah, I'm in his Discord.
Okay.
My next upgrade that I want to get is I want to get a better GPU, because I built this on somewhat of a budget. I mean, I probably put like $1,500 into it so far, but but hear me out.
I want to go with something affordable, so I figured Lamborghini was the way to go.
Stop. I built it for $650 to $800, around that, because I already had my own GPU, which was a 560, which was not good. It's a low end, top of the low tier, if that makes sense. And then I upgraded to a 1660 Super, which is what I have right now. But I'm still only getting like 80 frames to 100 frames when I'm trying to play like COD and stuff like that. So, and my dad, he's actually a computer teacher, and he actually has a 3090 in his computer downstairs right now, which is insane, crazy.
There's a good point right there. If you're gonna buy a mic, Black Friday would probably be the time to do it.
It's right around the corner
with
too,
with the online deals and stuff.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the time.
I actually, when I got this mic and the camera that I'm using now, I randomly looked at the Best Buy app, and they had a flash sale going on. Can't say that together. And they were both on there, so I ended up getting them on sale at that point. They were both like, it had like $20 off of each of them, whatever it was. But I was like, all right, cool, I'll go for it. And
question for you guys. I've been trying to think of what to do with my background, because I can't paint the wall. This is like my dining room table, so there's not a whole lot I can do. So I'm thinking, should I get 2 lights to shine like kind of red, like up this direction, and then one blue like up this direction, and leave the wall? Oh, okay. Sure. Or should I have like a black cloth, basically, to have like a flat black background, and then put the picture frames over that, so I kind of stand out more? Would that look a little bit better?
That would look cool, because the contrast and everything, you would.
Yeah, just because I feel like it's kind of bland, just like me sitting here. There's not a whole lot of professionalism.
At least it looks better than your grandmother's spare bedroom with a random Return of the Jedi poster up there.
I love that Return of the Jedi poster up there.
Yeah, I was thinking about a green screen, but at the same time, I love these posters, and I guess I could green screen the posters or Photoshop the posters onto whatever image and then green screen it, so they're not actually even there, but they're floating wherever.
Mhm.
I mean,
I don't
there's
know. I'm thinking about
tons
it.
of possibilities when you go towards using a green screen. Green screen.
Yeah.
I've only used my green screen in one video so far, and I'm looking to use it more. I just haven't quite figured out what I want to even do with it. But for you, for your channel, I mean, it's like it feels like we're, we pulled up a chair at the
Right,
table,
and
and
I
we're
don't
having some
want it to
coffee.
feel like a studio. Like Coach's setup is fantastic, but I don't know if that's exactly what I would want for. I don't know. I'm still figuring everything out. I really want to hold on to that. Just sit down and have some coffee with me. Feel, because that's what the whole channel is based on.
Right.
But at the same time, I want it to look visually appealing and inviting instead of just like, hey, I'm sitting here at my table. But I don't know. A lot of stuff to figure out, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If there's anything you guys have to or want to share as we wrap this up. Oh, and also huge, I forgot to do this earlier. Huge shout out to my brother-in-law, Nate, who got me this mug today. So thank you, Nate.
Nice.
Drinking it. Hopefully you tuned in at some point tonight and saw me drinking it, because thank you. He also got me a chair, so I don't have to sit on the hardwood chair. So
there you go.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, as far as last things to mention, of course, tomorrow's Tuesday Night Trek. If I don't do the Total Recall review Wednesday, I'll do something else, because I'm now that all the vacations are over and I've got reliable Wi-Fi now, I'm gonna start putting out more pre-recorded videos, because you can't just rely on live streams, unfortunately. And then, of course, Animation Friday, Clone Wars movie, and then our normal Sunday streams, where if you guys have not been hearing me read Star Wars in the Old King James, as Coach put it,
That's funny.
I have fun reading this thing.
I still got to check that out.
Those are good. I remember finding that. I picked it up off a shelf in a store, and I started flipping through it. I was like, yeah, I have to buy this. I'm like, how can I not?
Yeah, I have the whole original trilogy in it, and when I'm done with them, I'm going to get the prequels, and who knows, maybe the sequels. Maybe writing it in iambic pentameter might make those sound better.
It is possible.
Rey, thou shalt not be a Skywalker.
I am all the Sith. And there's no way to fix that.
And I am Iron Man.
Yep.
There's no fixing it. There's no fixing it. I cannot believe no one caught that.
Oh, everyone caught that.
I saw it right off
I
the
mean,
bat.
in production, like, was no one like,
oh no.
isn't that
Anyone
what
who
the
disagreed
Mr.
with
Stark
that was
said?
sent away.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were talking about before. It's like, take 10 random guys, make them sign a non-disclosure, and see what they think about it. Is it that hard? If I was making something that people cared about deeply, I would want every bit of input I could get from them.
Yeah.
But they didn't care. And we'll get into that in our sequel bashing stream.
When's that going to be, by the way?
I don't know. We keep talking about it. I'm putting it off because I don't want to watch the sequels again. So
I gotcha.
Matt Cave, we'll talk about when we want to watch those, and we'll have videos of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, whatever the last one was called, and then we'll schedule our sequel. We'll come up with a panel, and we'll go for it.
Sounds good.
But remember, our goal is to talk about the things we like.
Yes.
Okay, like a 3-minute stream, sure.
I don't know.
But in all seriousness, anyone that's watching this that does genuinely like the sequels, this is not in any way picking on you.
No,
You're
no,
entitled to like those as much as you like. And honestly, more power to you. I'm jealous.
I was just gonna say I am so jealous of anyone who loves those films because I wanted to love.
It's
those films.
a burden that I carry. I wish I didn't hate him as much as I did, or as much as I do, but I do. And actually, after watching the interview that Star Wars Santa did with on the VacTube, I got to see his reasoning for it, and it was because he connected emotionally with Rey. I get that; it makes total sense, and because of that, because that was the lens with which he viewed the sequels from the beginning. He didn't have any ill will towards them. I get that, and I respect that. I'm not going to ever bash him for liking them because of what it means to him. But for me, there's nothing you can do to convince me that they were good. So,
right.
Well, we're gonna do our best. At
is that the point? Is that the point
enjoy-
of our reviews? Is to try to find the good?
We're gonna try to find right. Isn't that what we talked about?
I
don't know.
I did
Here's
not
how-
consent.
Here's the advice I would give to you guys when I did the reviews for my channel. Go into it as clear and as open-minded as you can. Don't go specifically looking for the good. Don't go specifically looking for the bad. Go in as neutral a state of mind as you can. That's what I did, not just for the sequel trilogy, but for all of the Star Wars movies. And because of doing that, my opinion was genuinely changed on some of them.
I will keep an open mind, but I'm just going to say this right now. I had an open mind, as open as possible, during The Force Awakens when I watched it the first time, and I was turned off after the first few minutes. I'm not like most people. Most people, especially within our community, are of the opinion of, I liked The Force Awakens, but I didn't like what they did after that. And then it changed The Force Awakens for me. I didn't like The Force Awakens to begin with. The very moment that Poe looks up and says, so what, you talk first? I talk first? I was like,
yeah, it gets rough.
That doesn't belong here.
It gets rough.
Yep.
That doesn't, and that kind of set the tone for me. And all the, like, how did she control the First Order stormtroopers' minds? Like, she's never done this before. Like, it was just so confusing.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to. Yeah, I do want to say to Paul J. Lewis, if he's still in here, when you watch Rubber, turn off your brain. Don't ask yourself why is any of this, and also don't look for an explanation. just let the
enjoy it. Roll
just
with
let the things hit your eyeballs and your brain, and then like however you come out of the experience.
If you survive, great.
I mean, it would be
Okay,
yeah.
before I watch this though, Matt Cave, you said you've never been the same since. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, you can't unsee it. You just can't. There's no way to unsee it. It's a telekinetic power.
I'm so down. I'm so down for it.
That makes heads explode.
Sure, why not?
Add it to your list, Paul.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. I just want the whole world to experience it.
Everyone needs Rubber.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
It sounds like we're
safe.
making a cult around this movie.
There probably are cults.
Have you experienced the Rubber, Brother
Yes.
Paul? You need to experience the Rubber. Sus
One of
T,
us.
have you experienced the Rubber? You need to experience the Rubber. You cannot live. I'm turning into Anakin.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can live without the Rubber, Master.
I don't like rubber. It's so harsh and rubbery, and it just explodes heads.
And it sticks everywhere.
I mean, look, how many times in your life do you get to see a tire just look violently and angrily at a bird, and the bird
True.
just explodes?
How does a tire look?
Oh, it shakes. It
Live in the Rubber. It protects you from the no glue things.
Yes.
The Rubber is love. The Rubber is life. Turn to the.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I
so
don't
you're getting
care
excuses in
what
early.
time it is. The second any of you watch Rubber, just hit me up on Discord. Something. Just tag me. Whatever. It could be 3:00 in the morning. Just,
I'm gonna drive to your house for that barbecue and Rubber.
That sounds awful.
Oh, boy.
Barbecue in a rubber.
It's like that charred poop I was talking about on the other stream a couple weeks ago or whatever. Sounds so awful, but it's great.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Anyways.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
good.
On that note.
Yeah. All right. Well, always a pleasure having you guys on. Sus T, just move here already. Just
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Regardless on if I move out there, I'm gonna make a trip out there and over winter break. If you guys will have
cool.
me.
Well, we'll have you do something in the studio.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and we'll watch Rubber.
Let's do it.
Nice.
All right. Well, you guys can like sign yourselves out or whatever.
Yep.
Well-
I'm gonna make my way out. I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Yep.
And just remember,
real quick,
Mhm.
the outro that you had last night for RE3 at the end of your stream was good. It was something about remember the classics because remember the games you play today will become classic or something like that. I thought that was brilliant. You should keep that.
I should keep that.
Yes.
All right, so then
Mhm.
that's how I'm going to close myself
Yeah,
out tonight.
it was good. It was
Guys,
good.
This is the Matt Cave signing off, and remember, keep retro gaming alive because one day your games will be retro too.
Yes, that's
Love
so good.
that. That is
That's
perfect.
so good.
And
All
on
right,
that
have a good
note,
night, man.
see ya.
See you.
Yep. I'll go next. Just remember, guys, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday night Shrek. Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Animation Friday. And then Sunday, I'm not working that Sunday, so it'll be 5:30 instead of 9 Eastern. But that's when our normal stream is. Michael's getting his laptop again, so he'll be able to get back in, and I won't have to just rant on my own. But again, check me out on the Star Wars guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to Coffee on Korriban. And just remember, guys, if we learned nothing else from Echo Base TV tonight, it's this: the Force is family. See you guys later.
Absolutely. See you, Paul.
See ya.
All right, I will take
All
off
right, dude.
now. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
It was interesting learning about all these movies and all of the above. But yeah,
That's why these Monday night debriefs are cool because there's no structure really. It's just kind of, oh my gosh.
where's this rubber?
Yeah, it's just fun to just hang out and talk. So
Mhm.
now
Yeah.
we get on with our week.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, dude. See ya. And everyone watching, thank you very much for stopping by tonight. If there's anything we learned tonight, the Force is rubber. You guys all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.